Good news as two Spurs players will return to Hotspur away fresher than others. Mathys speaks out, and news on a possible Spurs takeover. Here are your daily Tottenham news headlines. Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name's Craig and here are your daily Tottenham news headlines where I'll be going through all the latest news, rumours and reports. If you're watching on YouTube and are not already as yet subscribed to the channel, please consider doing so, like, share and comment below. And if you're listening on audio platform, please do hit that follow button and leave a review if you can. Let's get into it. Football.London report that Romero should return back to Thomas Frank and Tottenham Hotspur fresher than most, as he will miss Argentina's second World Cup qualifying match of the international break this week. The 27-year-old Spurs captain played the full match and helped his country keep a clean sheet on Thursday evening as Argentina won 3-0 against Venezuela. 2 goals from Lionel Messi sandwiching a header from Lautaro Martinez to help Lionel Scaloni's side flying high on top of the CONMEBOL World Cup qualifying table. Argentina will now need to play against 4th place Ecuador on the road on Tuesday evening without Romero because the centre-back's yellow card picked up in the 64th minute of the victory against Venezuela was his second in 3 matches and means the Tottenham defender is suspended for the trip in midweek. While Romero will no doubt be disappointed to miss out, it does mean that he will return back to Hotspur way as one of the fresher Spurs players ready for Saturday evening's Premier League game against West Ham. And another Spurs player who should be fresh is Xavi Simons, as he was an unused sub in the Netherlands match v Lithuania on Sunday, and as such his international break is now over. French publication Le Telegram has been speaking to Mathys and asked him how it felt not to be included as part of Spurs Champions League squad. Tell stated, "It's clear that when you're not on the list it definitely hurts, but I'm someone who stays pretty positive no matter what the situation is because I think I've worked a lot on the mental aspect. So today it's definitely a disappointment. I would have liked to be there, but the coach's choice is the coach's choice. We can only respect it and we're going to work to come back in the best possible way." And when asked if he desires elsewhere or seeking revenge, and by revenge I'm guessing that's a translation thing, meaning does he want to prove Frank wrong in his decision not to pick him, Tell said, "No matter, even if I was on the list, I would have had this desire to be revengeful and to be able to be effective this season, to be able to start my season in the Premier League, because now it's the first long season because last year was a 6-month loan. A desire elsewhere, I'm under contract with Tottenham until 2031, so I'm a Tottenham player and I will do my best to be able to be my best." On his first 6 months in England, Tell stated, "He knows what he's capable of and knowing all the abilities I have, I think I could have done better. In any case, we can all do better, but I would say that it's an encouraging setup." Why? Because it forces me to know the weak points and improve things. So there's always room for improvement that we have an aim for. Whether in life or in London or on the pitch, I think I can be better in absolutely everything. And when asked what did he learn, Tell replied, "I learned that no matter the situation, no matter why you're called to a club, you have to be patient because there are times when it happens, times when it doesn't. That's life. Sometimes there are things we deserve and we don't receive, but in life we get everything we deserve? Not often. I've grown in maturity and in experience, and I think that today has shaped my personality and I would say my character especially." Give Me Sport report that the Lewis family insist that Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale despite questions over the club's hierarchy arising after Daniel Levy's shock exit. BBC journalist Sammy Mockwell has revealed Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale according to the Lewis family despite speculation following Daniel Levy's surprise departure as executive chairman after nearly 25 years. The club confirmed it had rejected 2 takeover approaches, including one from Amanda Staveley's PCP International Finance, though Staveley is expected to publicly rule out making a bid. Spurs' majority ownership lies with Joe Lewis's family trust holding 87% stake through ENIC, while Levy retains nearly 30% of ENIC. Previous takeover rumours have valued the club at $3.5 billion, but the Lewis family remain firm that no sale will take place. And Tottenham Hotspur Football Club released a statement late on Sunday evening after media speculation surrounding the sale of the club. The statement reads, "The board of Tottenham Hotspur Limited, Tottenham Hotspur, the club or the company, is aware of recent media speculation and confirms that its majority shareholder, ENIC Sports and Developments Holdings Limited, ENIC, has received and unequivocally rejected separate preliminary expressions of interest in relation to proposals to acquire the entire issued and to be issued share capital of ENIC from PCP International Finance Limited and a consortium of investors led by Dr. Roger Kennedy and Wing Fai Ng through Firehawk Holdings Limited, the consortium. As a consequence of ENIC's majority ownership interest in Tottenham Hotspur, were any offer made to acquire ENIC and complete, a mandatory offer would be required under Rule 9 of the Code to acquire the shares of Tottenham Hotspur not already held by ENIC. The board of the club and ENIC confirm that Tottenham Hotspur is not for sale, and ENIC has no intention to accept any such offer to acquire its interest in the club. In accordance with Rule 2.6a of the Code, each of PCP and the consortium is separately required by no later than 5 p.m. on the 5th of October 2025 to either announce a firm intention to make an offer for the company in accordance with Rule 2.7 of the Code, or announce that it does not intend to make an offer for the company, in which case their respective announcements will be treated as a statement to which Rule 2.8 of the Code applies. This deadline can be extended with the consent of the panel on takeover and mergers in accordance with Rule 2.6c of the Code. Accordingly, this announcement commences an offer period for the purposes of the Code. You still with me? Good. The person responsible for arranging the release of this announcement on behalf of Tottenham Hotspur is Peter Charrington, non-executive chairman. Okay, here's my thoughts on all those stories today. Firstly, the fact that Romero misses his second game for Argentina, or Argentina's second game, should I say, of this international break. Yeah, Romero's going to be gutted. We know how much he loves playing for his country, but, you know, Argentina's loss is Tottenham's gain, and we're going to be getting Romero back a little bit fresher, perhaps, than players that have played 2 games for their club over the international break, so that can only be a good thing. So far, and I have to say, as I record this, I haven't seen any reports of any injuries to Tottenham players, so touch wood, that will continue. But having Romero back fighting fit and fresh to play against West Ham and to lead us against West Ham can only be a good thing. And the same for Xavi Simons. Obviously didn't have an ideal international break. Wasn't or was reported that he didn't play particularly well in their first game and didn't play a minute in last night's game, as I stated. So it'll be good for Xavi Simons to come back and really get in the groove, hopefully now with Tottenham, and can't wait to see him against West Ham. Fingers crossed he can get some minutes. Is Thomas Frank gonna start him? Get down in the comments. Let me know. Let me know your best 11 for the game. That'd be interesting to see everybody's best 11s, or certainly the front 4. So that's good. Mathys Tel speaking out, yeah, very open and honest. As I've said many times, I'm still not 100% convinced on Mathys Tel. I'm willing to give him time. I mean, he's a Tottenham Hotspur player now. Obviously, we've signed him permanently. Been left out of Thomas Frank's Champions League squad, obviously, so that's going to hurt. That's going to kick him a little bit. But what this kid does have, I must say, is belief in himself, and he seems to be very, very confident in his ability. So let's hope Mathys Tel can go some way to prove Thomas Frank wrong and say that he should have picked him in that squad. As I say, personally, I'm still not convinced with the player, but while the players at Spurs, I think he's think he's due a bit of slack from the supporters and me included. Let's see how he does it in the games he can play in, and hopefully he can score us a few goals. But Mathys does seem quite, as I say, he's very confident in his own ability, and that can only be a good thing. So let's see how that one goes. But the big news, of course, of the day is the this denied takeover bid of Tottenham. Loads of stuff in the press about this from different reporters and different publications. And for Spurs to come out and say this, now I thought, well, how can they come out and say that the club's not for sale, but people have got until 5th of October, I think it was, to lodge a bid, so to speak. Now, from what I read of it, and I didn't read the whole statement, you can go on the Tottenham Hotspur website and read the whole thing if you really want to. It's not the most interesting read, but it might be for some of you because it explains everything on there. I wasn't going to read the whole thing out, as I say, but it seems to me that if somebody bids for or tries to get a deal done like this, it's basically in the public domain to a degree, and they have to be, all this notification period up until the 5th of October. That's how I understand it. It's probably a really bad way of explaining it, but when you read it, it kind of makes sense. So I read part of it out to you earlier in this video, but do go and have a look on the Tottenham Hotspur website and make your own judgment on that. Do I think Spurs are going to be sold? Who knows? They've come out and said not at the moment. So you could kind of dealing with two things. Do you want ENIC out now? I know a lot of you wanted Daniel Levy out. I was ambivalent either way, but do you now want ENIC out? Do you think ENIC are the problem? And I suppose if ENIC do hold on to the club and this sale doesn't go through, and any sale doesn't go through, then it's going to be proved over time whether ENIC was the issue holding us back or it was Daniel Levy. We need another transfer window kind of to see if that is the case, don't we? Because if ENIC don't spend money in January, and we all know how difficult January is, but I still maintain you can get players in January if you push hard enough and are prepared to pay. So that will be interesting in January to see what players we do go for, if of course ENIC are still in charge. So we've just got to see, is it really a smoke? Is it a smoke screen, or does ENIC just want to hold on to the club? We will see over the next few weeks, but get down in the comments, let me know. Do you want to see ENIC sell up? Would you rather see a Saudi business come in, or an American billionaire, or somebody else, or a Far Eastern company, as has been reported? It's so difficult to know where this is going to go. It's just speculation at this point. But as far as we know, ENIC have come out and said they are not selling the club. But get down in the comments, let me know. Do you want ENIC to sell? Do you think ENIC were the problem, or do you think Levy was holding us back? As I say, get down in the comments and let me know, indeed, about any stories today or anything else you want to talk about. And as always, come on, you Spurs.